With quality of debate at different levels of leadership continuing to raise concerns in the public domain, Center for Health, Human Rights and Development CEHURD has organized the Inter-University Constitution Law Moot competition as a platform to train debaters. While presiding over the 2025 edition at Hotel Africana in Kampala, Supreme Court Judge Mike Chibita implored law students to uphold ethical codes of conduct as they pursue their legal careers. The competition, organized by the Center for Health, Human Rights and Development CEHURD, has nurtured legal minds passionate about social justice and human rights.
Students from more than 10 universities each year who compete in front of real magistrates and real judges of high courts, the Court of Appeal, the constitutional courts, and the reason they compete on issues, real issues of that real challenges of society, specifically around the right to health and more so on issues of sexual and reproductive health and rights and gender justice. So they normally respond to a real problem in society and they argue a case. So the purpose of the inter-university moot competition is for us to enable the young lawyers, those who are still in law schools, to understand why it's important for them to do litigation around the right to health. Of course, the purpose is for them is for us to nurture them and inspire them to take up human rights law, for them to be able to defend social justice for the most vulnerable people in society. So the one today was focusing on sexual reproductive health and gender justice, and specifically focusing on young girls who were dismissed from schools because of having a pregnancy. Specifically,
over 14 universities, including Makerere, Metropolitan International University, and Cavendish University, took part, where 2 universities faced the bench of judges from High Court. Presiding over was Supreme Court Judge Justice Mike Chibita, who reminded the law students on their roles to ensure discipline and promote ethics in their career.
Announcing the individual points that were given, and we'll start with Susan Kamukama, who got 71%. Let's give her a big hand clap. Next, Marvin Ainebiona, 77%. Next, Adrian Masolo, 79.6%. And last but not least, Linda Mirembe Namulema scored 80.6. As you can see, that was quite tight between the two of them. It was just a percentage point, 1.0. And therefore, your best oralist for today, Linda Mirembe Namulema. As far as respondents' appellants go, the final scores, the respondents' team average was 74%. Let's give them a loud hand clap. And the appellants' team average, 80.2. Therefore, that means in this context, the appellants have taken the day with scoring 80.2%.
Cavendish University emerged victorious and the best advocate from the competition, and the opportunity for a legal internship at CEHURD. Bishop Stuart University and many more that were in the 2 days competition impressed judges with clarity and legal reasoning.
Never underestimate the power of preparation. Once you prepare anything, you'll get it right. That's why you see these musicians, movie stars, and so on. They go over and over something, very small piece of, eventually they get it right. And once you get it right, then even it builds your confidence. You know, it becomes like a song.
You must always know what context you're arguing. If you're arguing in a Ugandan context, argue in a Ugandan context. If you're going to a regional court like Justice Gaswaga's, argue in a regional.
In cases where you have to concede, some matters do so. Sometimes you're arguing something which is so obviously bad that it is going to distance the court. So for those matters where you can concede, you can say so, especially if I can say to the respondents that this is the situation, or it might be a fact by the petitioner.
We were talking a lot about discrimination. If you claim discrimination, you have to clearly state the ground. And the grounds of discrimination are clearly stated in the Constitution.
Winners expressed gratitude towards the organizing committee as well as their tutors from the university.
The Moot, well, as you can see, went well for us. We emerged victorious and we are very grateful to God. About expectations, well, whenever it comes to CEHURD Moots, we always expect the best because they always organize their Moots well, and we are really grateful for being given the opportunity to take part in this Moot. We're also grateful to, of course, our university that has supported us, Cavendish University, and we are looking forward to participating in the next edition of this Moot next year around the same time, and we are really happy, yes.
As CEHURD looks to the 13th edition, the growing interest in the Moot underscores a rising generation of legal minds committed in advancing justice in Uganda and beyond. This year's theme is Navigating Divergent Perspectives in Promoting Reproductive and Gender Justice in Uganda. Nalsibawini, reporting for UBC.